So, Mr. Nihar Chaudhary,
Yeah.
when somebody wants to launch their online business and want to do some high ticket sales,
Yes.
how much should they expect to make in the first month or the first 6 months, realistically?
Realistically, I will say 2 lakhs per month is super easy to reach, because again, when it comes to high ticket, it's a very subjective thing. Like for some people, 50,000 charging 50,000 is also high ticket. For some people, even if they charge 2 lakhs, it's not high ticket. So it completely depends. But I think 2 lakhs per month is pretty easy to achieve. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say somebody not from this sphere, let's say they just started getting Instagram content, YouTube content about online business, traveling the world, or having no team, having no office, this kind of content, right? They are just in an office job right now. So do you really think that they can get to 2 lakhs per month in the first 3 months or 6 months if they are not well versed with marketing, with offer creation, with
Yeah.
automations, all of that?
Yeah, honestly, I always ask people to look at it from this perspective. If you know how to run fast, you can win an Olympics. If you run like Usain Bolt, you can definitely win Olympics as well. But the point is, running like Usain Bolt will take some practice. There would be someone like Usain himself can come and teach you how to run. He can show you he can tell you all the specifics and the technicalities and everything. But at the end, it all comes down to how well you can execute it, how well you can practice on it. So it's completely subjective. Again, it depends from person to person. We can give you the exact knowledge required to do that. Yeah, if you ask me, okay, hey, can I run like Usain Bolt in just 6 months? I will say yes, it's possible because I can do it relentlessly. If I just sacrifice everything else and I just fully try and train myself on running, I would say yes. But the answer might be different for you.
When you say that it's subjective, you probably just mean that you are confident enough to figure it out relentlessly without it, right?
Yeah.
But what everybody perceives it, the whole market perceives it as, okay, there's just another guy who is promising big things. But it's not really the case. He's just out there. Everybody who you see online, they're just out there
Yeah.
trying to just portray their strong beliefs over you, and you are taking it in a negative way so that you are safe from that risk of maybe failing. But it's how you start as a job person, as an employee. You got to fail multiple times till you succeed, and the faster you fail, the better you succeed. So just try to make that whole process as fast as possible.
Yeah. I don't think the one word that you mentioned, which is people are trying to portray their beliefs on you, strong beliefs on you. I don't think that's the case. It's as simple as, hey, I know how to win the race because I have a Lamborghini, and I'll give you that vehicle, the same vehicle to you, so that you can win the race as well. So I don't think there's anything emotional about it. It's totally logical. Someone has already figured out what is the right way to do something, and they're charging you to give that way to you. It's that simple. And that thing has the potential to achieve whatever dreams you have, whatever goals you have, whatever outcomes you have. Yeah, if you just like strip it down to absolute fundamentals, absolute basics, you will understand it's very straightforward. Someone knows something, and to give that valuable thing to you, they're charging for it, right? So I really don't think they're portraying beliefs on you. Apart from that, when it comes to whether you would be able to do it, because that's the big question here.
Right.
I believe that people think, okay, people are scamming and over promising, and what is the word that you used? Not genuine, right? Like they're not legit, right?
Yeah.
I really believe it's more about us only, like more about you who is thinking that way. It's more about, again, I don't have the belief in myself, okay, this person is promising, but whether I would be able to do it or not. I think that is the biggest thing that we should understand. People just don't believe in themselves.
True.
Yeah.
One of my friend, he just shared a very motivational quote on my DM, which was this particular thing that we are just talking about, which is like believing in yourself. And trust me, it is very difficult, because despite whatever you see realistically happen in real world, your tangible real world, your bank account going down, you taking risk and failing again and again, random people in your Instagram DMs just thrashing you, saying that just you get it better first yourself before starting to teach to others, or blah 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 blah, all of that. These things actually hamper you, and the core belief should not shatter in these situations, because it is really a full-time job.
Yeah, for sure. It is a full-time job, of course. I really want to understand your perspective here. You did not start from a job. You did not have a job background or anything.
Right.
Since the day one, you jumped straight into entrepreneurship.
Right.
You jumped straight into launching your own thing and earning money online.
Correct.
So what do you think is the one thing that is lacking with, because again, as Nawal Ravikant said, salary is the strongest addiction. It is the
Right.
biggest drug.
Yeah.
Sort of,
Yeah.
But you and even I, we didn't even jump into that addiction in the first place. Right. So how would, so first of all, I am not even sure whether we know the answer for this or not, because we have not even faced that problem yet.
Right.
But for people who are already in a job, who are getting a fixed salary every single month,
Right.
how do you think they should think about, how would they gain the certainty, okay, burn all the boats, drop that job, drop that salary, monthly salary, and go all into entrepreneurship, because you know that there is much more higher potential, I would say. How would you get out of that salary? How would you get out of that addiction, that attachment to your salary, that paycheck every single month that you get, and burn all the boats and jump directly into entrepreneurship? What do you think about this?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I'll just give a very short, brief description about myself. I come from an entrepreneurial background. We have a bunch of schools back in our hometown, and I come from that background, and I am privileged in that way. I understand this thing. And I'm really thinking about investments a lot in the last few months or so. When people who are into employment, who are having jobs, they get that paycheck from their employer, and they think about growing that money, investing that money. Just try to think like, what do you exactly do? It's a little off tangent, but it will get back to the topic. What happens when you invest that money in a mutual fund, or whatever investment instrument you have? That money goes to some company, some business, and the business grows in some time, maybe a year or two, and it's giving you back the return in the form of dividends or capital appreciation, right? So you understand these terms, all of this, about investments. So back in 2022, 23, this guy, Lakh was just popping up on YouTube, on Instagram, everywhere. And he said one thing about investments, right? He said that when you invest money in an S&P 500, which is the index fund of US market, you get decent returns. But when he said that when you invest in S&P 500, you get exponential returns, it's actually true. It's actually logical, because when I said that the money that you spent or invested was going to some other business, why not take that money and invest in yourself, in your own skill development? Maybe get better at ads, maybe get better at marketing, maybe get better at content or copywriting or product creation or AI or automation, or literally hundreds of different things that make up an online business. So if you want to think about how you can detach yourself from that, sugary, addictive salary, monthly paycheck, just start thinking about taking a certain percentage of your paycheck and literally investing into developing your skills, into mentorship, into courses, into hiring somebody, into hiring a coach or a consultant or whatever. Just improve your skills so that your active income grows and is detached from your employer, and it's going in the open market. So if you are, let's say, an IT guy, right? Very simple, you are an IT guy. What you are working for is a business. So your employee is giving you a fixed amount of income, money, to solve that particular problem. Just take that problem solving ability and go in the open market, where there are millions of other people who are ready to pay you for solving that specific problem. So if you want to think about it, number one, improve your skills. Number two, think about the problem that you're solving and just take it to the open market. As simple as that.
Yeah, my major question was, how do you gain that confidence in you?
Yeah.
That, hey, just shut down that salary. Go all in into business. How do you gain that confidence? like in itself.
It is a tough situation because I cannot just tell you that you can just quit your job next month and make that same amount of income in the next month, because that is a risky situation. And risk, the nature of risk are as such that it's high reward and it can go down as well, right? So you have to let light fire under your ass and
Yes.
make it work anyhow, but do it sustainably in the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
As I said, take that percentage of your paycheck and just invest it into bettering your skills, no matter what that is: drop shipping, e-commerce, meta ads, agency, digital products, literally whatever, right? But your confidence come from that. But of course, do not get attached to just investing 20% of your income. If you had to take a short-term loan, that's completely all right, because that's what I did at the start when I switched from my freelance income to getting better at digital products and coaching and all of that. I took a short-term loan to hire a mentor, which solved my problems in that very next month, because I was literally into that game, spending lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So do not get too attached to the numbers, but have a roadmap in the next 3 to 6 months that you have to replace your job anyhow. Even if I was writing about this thing, even if you're making 50K or 60K, 70K per month, it's okay to take that step down to go to 20K, 30K per month and not travel or not buy something, right? But just invest into your business, into yourself, right? Your business is a personality development process for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. I mean, sort of answers the question, but I also feel that we are not in a position where we can answer this question very accurately.
That's what I said. Yeah.
All I can say is, if you don't have that confidence, then you have to find ways to gain that confidence first, instead of even thinking about switching from a job to a business.
Yeah.
Just find ways to gain that confidence first.
What do you think is the action step for that?
I will say self-awareness is the first step. Understanding your idols, जिसको आप लोग refer कर रहे हो. It could be anybody in business.
Somebody who you look up to.
Somebody who you look up to, and somebody who makes you realize the upside of opting for a business and leaving your job, right? And then understanding your current situation, that okay, do you want to get out of that and reach there? And if that's true, then identifying what are the skill sets, like specific skill sets. Like Prathamesh said, there are certain skill sets like sales, which are always required when it comes to business. So even if you are in a job, maybe find out ways on how you can improve your sales skills. And even if you are in a highly technical job, like maybe coding, even in that you can still find ways to improve your sales, improve your presentation skills. Maybe you're working on a project or something. Try to read a sales book, like something like Influence. It's a book on persuasion and sales. So maybe try to apply some concepts from that book in your presentation, in your coding presentation, when you're presenting it to your manager or something. So these are the small steps that you can start with, which will eventually start compounding and give you that confidence, really give you that confidence, to finally you'll have that instinct in your I want to just quit job completely, quit that salary, and give that confidence to jump into a business, proper business, right? And I definitely have had some friends as well who left their jobs and completely opted in for business. So that's definitely possible, but you have to start somewhere. You need to understand that if you eat sugar now, you'll feel the sweet taste instantly, right? But in the longer run, it will deteriorate your health. Whereas if you work out today, you might not feel very, muscular today, but in the longer run, you'll definitely become someone who is jacked or better than your current self, right? So long-term thinking, I would say, whatever is good for you long-term, start putting in those inputs from today, even if it's very small inputs, like just reading a book and trying to apply that in your current job. That's also an input. Start from somewhere. At least start. You don't want to be in the exact same position after 1 year. And if there is someone who is willing to help you out with the journey and shorten that journey for you, get that mentorship. Join that person. Get help from someone. Even if it's like paying them, or even if it's for free, even if it's someone from your family, try to get help from someone so that you can shorten the journey, because the most valuable asset in this world is time, and you have to find ways to save time. That's
Right.
what I believe in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it starts with self-awareness and understanding the journey first, and then starting from the most micro level steps.
Yeah.
Hey, the conversation got abruptly ended because the mic died on in the between. But the whole point of this conversation between me and Nihar was to actually give you the right mindset and the right, the perspective of looking at online business. So if you are a beginner, it's all right to start from zero, and it's all right to take some time, but the whole point was to have proper deadlines and proper expectations built right from the start, so that you are set up for success. So if this video resonated with you and you are actually going to take the right step towards building your online business for your freedom, for the time, all of that, I want you to just take action, put out real world tangible output so that other people can see that, and get started with something. If this video was helpful, just hit a like and share it with someone who may need it, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.